As we reported, the medical examiner ruled that Joey Corshane died from alcohol withdrawal. Joining us now is Dr. Jonathan Hastings. He's an expert in the treatment of substance use disorders and the medical director at Sana at Stowe, a facility offering addiction recovery services. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Yeah.
So what happens to the body, doctor, when someone is detoxing from alcohol?
So the first thing to think about is what's happening to the body when you're using alcohol every day at high doses. Alcohol acts as a depressant to the brain, and so it causes the brain's natural depressants, the sort of brake system of the brain that we have naturally, to not work as well. And that's because our brain notices that it's got all this alcohol in there that is acting to suppress things, acting as a depressant. So the brain realizes it doesn't have to create those types of chemicals on its own anymore. So it gets into a point, if you're using high levels of alcohol every day, that your brain stops naturally producing those brake chemicals, the chemicals that kind of depress things or keep things inhibited. It also starts to create, more of the chemicals that want to keep things going. So it sort of gets out of balance. Now, as long as you keep drinking, paradoxically, as long as you keep drinking, you're sort of okay because you're keeping yourself at this equilibrium. But if you just take that high levels of alcohol just away instantly, what happens is all of a sudden you have a brain that is no longer naturally sort of making the chemicals that depress it, that inhibit things. And this has made too many of the chemicals that want to excite things, that want to push things up. And that leads to a very dangerous situation where you have symptoms like seizures, which can be deadly, or a syndrome called delirium tremens, where your brain is so overactive and it can't keep itself depressed and inhibited that everything sort of stops working. You get confused, you get disoriented, your brain can't regulate things anymore. But that's basically what's happening. The high levels of alcohol upset the balance, and taking that alcohol away, all of a sudden you're left with a very imbalanced brain.
And that is what the medical examiner said that Joey Corshane died of, was the DTs. What do you do at Sana to treat those people who are drinking that much to get them off it?
So we carefully monitor their symptoms, and we use careful dosing of medications called benzodiazepines. So by replacing the alcohol with carefully dosed benzodiazepines, we can safely take someone out of that imbalance. We can start with maybe higher doses of the benzodiazepines, and then over days slowly back away from that, so we get the brain back into balance without it ever having a period of being completely completely on its own.
Is alcohol more dangerous than other substances to detox from?
It is, and it is the most dangerous in terms of risk to sort of fatality or risk of death compared to detoxing from any other of the major common substances of abuse that we see. We hear a lot about opioid overdose, and opioid overdose is a very dangerous thing. And then we also know that opioid withdrawal can be very unpleasant. It can make you feel sick. Withdrawing from opioids is like having the worst flu ever. Having said that, cold turkey stopping opioids generally isn't going to kill you. And I don't mean to minimize that. Like I say, it's very difficult can be very difficult to withdraw from it and get off opioids, but it doesn't kill you. Same things with things like stimulants like cocaine. Stopping the cocaine itself isn't going to kill you, even if it's something that you've been doing every day for a long time. Alcohol is really the one major substance of abuse that we see that if you stop cold turkey, you could put yourself in a life-threatening situation.
Dr. Jonathan Hastings at SANA, thank you so much for your expertise. Be well.